Let's try this again. I'm trying to get a video set up here. I want to put this out on YouTube and I want to show you guys essentially what is going on. Let me close that. We'll just restart it. There we go. It's my head. What's going on with my TrackIR and how I have it set up and how it works and all that other jazz, blase blase. Alright, here we go. Joystick, no, we want that set for that key. First things first. The camera, when I turn my head, when I'm facing the actual camera and I turn my head to my left, my face will cover the IR lights here in the Pro Clip. So the camera will just stop detecting the lights and then it'll stop moving essentially. So what I've done is I take my camera, or I take the IR sensor and I move it to the left on top of my monitor so it's already on my left hand side. So when I am looking to my left, the camera is over here and will still pick up the IR lights. When I look to my right, there's never an issue. It's always when I look to my left is when the issue occurs. So let me adjust this right quick. Gotta get that going. Okay. The biggest thing, if you look on the top, front, and left views here, the yaw, pitch, and roll are what you're going to pay attention to. The XYZ is not necessary, but yaw, pitch, and roll. Pitch being up, roll being this guy here, and yaw being your right and left. The first thing I like to do is get all the TrackIR set up, get it all in here, get everything going, and at 0, I will look to my right as far as I think I should have to look to still be able to see the screen, but I want to be able to see 90 degrees true right, 90 degrees true left. And then I'll look to to get the rear views. So this is how far I have to look to get 180 degrees behind me. If I wanted to look up and behind me like somebody's flying up and over and around and down and in front kind of deal, or if I'm looping around and whatnot, you can see that I don't have to move my head very much to maintain my views. One in particular is that's looking direct as if I had flipped upside down behind myself. You can see by the way the camera's over on the left top and front here. So what I'll do when I want my true 90, so yaw, let's say this is as far as I want to turn my head to get 90 degrees. Well, I need to adjust the curve. And what I'll do is I'll turn my head and then I'll start bumping up the curve. So there, that's 90. So now I've only got to turn my head this much to get the 90. I want you guys to be able to see in this camera here as far as how much I have to move my head to get 180 degrees. Now it obviously is moving very fast. You see, like you would have trouble tracking shit in game with the speed moving so fast. So what this is the rotation speed. So now that I've got the curve set for the distance by adjusting the curve, what I need to do now is adjust how fast it rotates through the curve here. So what I'll do is I'll start playing with these because these are how to adjust the speeds. So yeah, so now it's starting to slow down. There's 90. 180 is relatively quick. What it is in the backside it's a little too fast. So let's slow this down just a little bit. So there's 90, let's go through back to 180, boom. So there's 90 all the way to 180, boom. I can move my head nice and fluidly all the way through the curve now. So now it's based on me not moving my head so fucking fast. So now I don't have to worry about speeds because I can just keep dialing this down as far as the speed goes for the curve, to where no matter how fast I move my head, it's still going to slow things down. I can't see the numbers, obviously. But if I need to quickly look from my back left to my back right, I sure can. And I won't be able to see anything in the process. So you'll adjust your speeds. Notice how that curve is completely different than what it was when I moved the lines here. So y'all, let's go to pitch, because that one is bananas. I gotta turn that down. So I want that. Yeah, because that's above and behind me. I can still see the screen when I look up like this. This camera is a bad angle because it's pointing up at my face. But long of the short, so if I wanted to adjust the curve for my, like let's say I can only turn my head, just as an example. This is dead center, re-0. Let's say I can only adjust my head about this far up. So I would adjust my curve here. I'd want that to be closer to 90. So by adjusting the curve, this is the speed, this is where you adjust speed, this is where you adjust how far the curve will look. So now when I slightly turn my head up, I can get that full 180 much easier, obviously, but going up to a full 90 degrees above me is much less involved than it just was. So what you'll do is you'll sit there and you'll play and play and play. You'll get this all at 0, all at scratch, and then you'll just move your head to the position that you want for your 90-degree view to your right, 90-degree view to the left, as an example. And then you can adjust the curve accordingly. Like, just as an example, if that's where I wanted my 90 right and 90 left, that's how I would do it. Just like that. So now the speed is uniform all the way through. Again, because I've been messing with this, you can see on the lines here. And what this will tell you is the rotation speed and your true head angle in degrees. So if you have a lot of movement in a little space, but on the back side you want it to slow down, you would spread these speeds out again. You would just continue to adjust the curves through here till you get it the way you want. So as you can see now, I have no pitch because we've been playing with the pitch. So we'll go again. So that's a true 90. So now all I have to do is slightly tilt my head up to get a true 90, but it's way too fast. So I need to bring these speeds down. Reset the camera real quick. Slightly have to turn, so my true head degree, so if I wanted so you'll see my true head degree is a 15-degree angle here. And I want it to zip up that last little bit from here to there. But that's too fast, right? So I'll bring this down. I'll bring that over here. And at a true 15 degrees, I can adjust and set here these points. Now a lot of people are going to want to use a lot of them, which I'm not a big fan of. I would just set it up the way you want. So that's too fast on the top still. So let's just space these out nice and even. Get a better workflow here. There we go. And voila. Now I only have to turn my head up 15 degrees, if that, to get a true 90 over top. So now to look over top, it's really not that far, and then as you can see, because of that long gap with no other curves in between there, because these are the positions essentially. So after my 90, you can see I can go all the way back around to look straight down if need be, which I don't, I don't find that necessary. So for me personally, I just have it set up a little less of a curve, and I just have them spaced out like these 3 or 4 right here. So when I'm looking up, that's my true 9. Anything over that, and I don't, I don't need. So there it is, true 90, nice and even and speedy, but not too slow, but not over responsive anymore. And now when I start to get over that break point, that's on me. And then the same goes, you just essentially you go to your yaw, which is your left and right speed. You see my true head positioning here, the true head angle, which I really, for example, I've got a bad back or something, right? And I can't really look all that far. I can't be turning. So I'll need to bring all of these inside of less than the 15-degree true head angle, because you want the full rotation, full completion is this outer one. So what I would do is I would bring these in and start setting them up on a curve for myself. Now that's way too fast, so let's spread this out. So that's as far as I can look, and I want that to be 180 degrees behind me. So I'll start moving that curve. So there, that's 180. So now at 180, I need to slow these way down. So these are still too fast. So we just start dialing these down. So yeah, there it is. I only have to move very short amount of distance. Alright, so there we go. Reset the camera real quick. Nice, slow, easy head movements. As you can tell, I've mucked that up a little bit. Just keep playing with this curve until I get, because what it is this first degree is too fast. That's going way too quickly. I'd never be able to keep track of that. Well, if you're moving slower, then yeah, you'd be able to keep track of that. I don't have an injury, bad back, or something of that effect that would cause me to turn my head slowly. But that's exactly what that'll do. Because that's real fast through a real narrow portion there. And they were saying that people have these profiles saved as far as that goes. But this is how I would go about adjusting or fine-tuning someone else's profile. Let me close that out. No, I don't want to save changes. Let me open this. Track IR. Get my ugly face back in the frame. So you can see what I've got my curves set to. But this is that's me personally. There's my yaw. There's my pitch curve. You can see my roll curve, which is that one. I have everything dialed in real small. Couple quick adjustments is all I had to make, and then boom, I was playing the game. So I hope this helps. I hope you found the information as far as how to find your true head angle, which is how far your head is actually rotated, and how much speed in degrees it's going to rotate, how to adjust the curve, how to fine-tune the speed. If not, you can always find Dahmer in game, and hopefully this helps.